Today on BRStv we have the Red Sea salt mix. There's 100 different salt mixes out there, and it's really hard to know which one to use. Most of us would use the best one available if we only knew which one that was. There have been a few tests over the years, however they typically include a lot of anecdotal, inconclusive evidence. I do find the tests interesting, but I don't find anything conclusive enough that would make me choose one salt brand over another. In the end, I've seen reefers be successful with basically every brand of salt out there. I've also seen endless complaints about every brand out there. So I've developed my own list of things that I'll evaluate a salt mix by. This won't necessarily help me hone in on the absolute best available option. However, what it will do is make sure I'm using one of the best. The number one thing to look for in a salt mix is look for somebody that you know and trust that has a similar system and maintenance habits as you and has had long-term success with that salt. Results speak for themselves. When I am considering switching salts, one of the first things I'm going to do is mix it up and give it a quick visual inspection. I just want to see how long it takes to dissolve, how clear the solution is once it is dissolved, and check for any other signs of unwanted impurities. This is a quick time lapse of how Red Sea mixed compared to what I believe to be the most popular salt on the market. I mixed up a quarter cup of salt and 800 milliliters of water and let it dissolve for 10 minutes, stirring twice. The Red Sea, you can see, it's cleared up significantly faster and is crystal clear. I also pay close attention to the amount of information that the manufacturer provides about the product. Most of the advertising and packaging materials will be a bullet-pointed sales pitch. But for me, the difference will be how much real definable information can be found about that product inside of that sales pitch that will differentiate it from standard propaganda. For me, I really believe in the idea that the more transparent and honest you are, the less you have to hide. Red Sea clearly states the expected parameters on the front of the packaging. They also have a pretty substantial amount of information on their website, including a 4-page document that clearly states the grade of materials that are used in the product. They also have a video that describes the actual manufacturing process used to produce the salt. I also try to purchase a lot of products from companies that are focused on saltwater aquariums. When possible, I try to avoid the giant publicly traded pet conglomerates that have shareholders to please, because generally pleasing shareholders means producing a mass market product at an extremely attractive price. That doesn't necessarily chime in with using the best quality materials available or producing the best quality product. Red Sea is a privately held company that is focused on saltwater aquarium goods. I also like to take a quick look at the other items in a manufacturer's product line. Are they selling unique, inspired products, or is their product line filled with items of questionable value just to make a buck? Are they selling the exact same things that they were selling 10 years ago? Or are they continually trying to improve their products for their customers? To me, Red Sea is showing this continual dedication to improve its product line with its new supplement and test kit line. The test kits are not only a dramatic improvement over their old style of test kit, I believe them to be now the best test kit available to the aquarium industry. They're not only easy to use and accurate, but they include inspired tools like the included titrator. They also are the only aquarium test kit company I'm aware of that offers reagent refills, so you don't have to continually buy the entire test kit over and over again. So I'm not going to say anything ridiculous and impossible like this is the absolute best salt mix known to man and you have to use it to be successful. However, what I am willing to say is I believe it to be one of the best available salt mixes, and it is what most of the employees over at Bulk Reef Supply are using currently. The following is a video I mentioned earlier that Red Sea produced to provide more information on the actual production of the salt. I thought many of you might find it interesting.
Red Sea salts, the living reef in every harvested grain. The Red Sea, a narrow strip of water nestled between the deserts of East Africa and the Arabian Peninsula. Mostly barren coastlines with nearly zero vegetation lie in stark contrast to the abundance of life under the surface of the crystal blue water. The Red Sea, home to the world's northernmost tropical reef, with the world's largest diversity of marine fauna and the highest density of coral per cubic meter of sea. At Red Sea, we take our inspiration from the reefs that flourish in the waters from which our company takes its name. From this thriving reef ecosystem, we collect the salt that carries the living reef in every harvested grain. The all-natural, ecologically friendly salt production process begins at the source, the sea. Seawater, pumped from alongside the reef, undergoes natural evaporation in the hot, dry desert sun. In the first evaporation pond, increasing salinity precipitates calcium and many other metals out from the water. In subsequent ponds, as more water evaporates, sodium chloride crystals begin to form.
In the final pond, the end of the evaporation process leaves behind crystals of raw sodium chloride, which are then washed and dried to remove organic and other impurities.
The end result is 99.8% pure crystals of sodium chloride. Each crystal of the natural sodium chloride contains traces of 45 of the elements that are in the waters of the Red Sea. That's why we say Red Sea salts carry the living reef in every harvested grain. In the next stage of the process, calcium, magnesium, potassium, and all of the other elements are added back to the sodium chloride to create a consistent, homogeneous mix. Red Sea's research studies show that the specific ratio between the foundation elements calcium, magnesium, and carbonates implemented in both new Red Sea salt formulations enhances the vitality of all corals. Red Sea salt is formulated to duplicate the exact parameters of tropical reef water.
It's ideal for fish and invertebrates or for low nutrient systems.
Red Sea Coral Pro Salt contains elevated levels of the foundation elements required for sustainable, accelerated coral growth. It's ideal for all stony coral aquariums and is particularly recommended for growing coral frags. Capture the essence of the Red Sea in your home. Give your fish and corals the best natural conditions. Red Sea salts, the living reef in every harvested grain.